And we are back with an all-new Keep It. It's Ira, Madison III.
Oh, you said that so poetically. I guess that is just, as this is your penultimate episode. I am Louis Vertel, Keep It's reigning champion, I guess, since I'll be here long after you're gone, bitch.
You're on the waterfront.
Yes.
You are the contender.
Yes, I could have been a contender, and in fact, I remain one. Yes.
Yeah. That's also, I'm always thinking about that line in the context of Gypsy. You know, if I could have been, then I would have been. And that's showbiz.
I think it's also appropriate that on your penultimate episode, there would be a major Twitter blow up between Nicki Minaj. I don't want to say it's between Nicki Minaj and SZA. Nicki Minaj blew up at SZA and SZA wrote back ... basically. But this is like classic Keep It, something you would explain to me. And I'm just going to go ahead and let you do it.
Okay. So the thing about this feud is that it doesn't really feel like a feud. It's very disorienting, which is par for the course when it comes to Nicki.
Yes.
But it's very disorienting because it just sort of popped up in the middle of the night. And I remember people texting about it. And I remember looking at tweets and then being like, what is going on? Let's just say that SZA's manager and TDE co-president, Punch, this is his name. It's Judy's ex-husband.
Oh, yeah. He's still around, huh? Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Out of the puppet theater and into hip hop. Okay.
He tweeted Broken Barbies, promoting a new track by I Am Lyric, an artist that he manages. And then Nicki went on a rant accusing him of bullying her.
Which is rich, coming from Bulliana herself.
Then he went on The Breakfast Club and said that he and Nicki have bad blood from 2020. Because Nicki reached out for a SZA feature, but Punch said SZA was deep in album mode, so they'd circle back on the request. The feature never happened, and he never spoke to Nicki again.
I want to also say that around that time, Nicki was more concerned with her cousin's friend's balls or whatever was going on.
Yes,
so, I mean, it was a disorienting
happening.
time. Yes.
SZA then tweeted, Mercury retrograde, don't take the bait, LOL, silly goose.
Silly goose, underrated phrase.
I love saying silly goose. And
Yeah.
then Nicki responded with, go draw your freckles back on, and told SZA that she sounded like a fucking dead dog.
Cool take.
Which is nasty, but a lot of us do recall the time when SZA could not sing live.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, Barb's kept throwing out old videos, and it was like, we were there. I was at Coachella.
If I were SZA, I would simply respond by saying that I have not just Grammy nominations, an Oscar nomination, and Nicki doesn't have any Grammy wins, which is actually pretty rare for somebody that prominent in the field. How did she do
it? Now, there are some very funny moments that happen in the midst of this whole SZA drama. I do just want to say that SZA shared the text between Nicki and Punch where Nicki asked for a feature. And this was after Nicki was, whipping up the barbs because here's the thing about the feud for me. And I don't even want to call it a feud. They were just having a back and forth.
Yeah.
And it was entertaining. So I loved it. But Nicki's tweeting at SZA, it seemed less like she was tweeting at SZA and just more tweeting to entertain the barbs, which is usually what happens, you know? And so it always feels like it's lopsided a bit because I'm like, I want you actually going after this person, you know?
Yeah.
Don't just do it with like aware that you have an audience that will eat up everything that you say, you know?
Right. No, it's Groucho Marx. Yeah. Let me harass Margaret Dumont for a little bit for the kids.
Yeah, people will get that reference.
Our listeners are 170 years old, right? Okay.
So Nicki was like, no one knows your music, etc. And then Barbs were like, yeah, that's true. That's true. No one knows who you are. Which, sure. But then SZA responded, Nicki, you absolutely know my music and what I contribute because you've asked for features twice to no response. In addition to rapping my lyrics on Feeling Myself, cooking up the bass, looking like a kilo. By the way, that is SZA. She was a co-writer on Feeling Myself, the Beyonce Nicki song.
Oh, that's bizarre. Okay.
Yeah. She wrote, LOL, you're having a moment. I'm not sure why, but be blessed.
Classic.
SZA always seems like she's on a spiritual plane.
Yeah.
So I think someone tweeted like, Nicki, you're about to have 4 different spirits coming after you right now. What are you doing? She literally is her character from one of them days.
Yes, right. I had a friend say something, reading all these tweets, being like, Nicki should teach a course in destroying her legacy. But to be honest, is not everybody realizing she's capable of this all the time? Like, I think of this as almost like as you said, par for the course, Nicki. It's weird. Like, she's weirdly like, even though what she said about Megan Thee Stallion was like way worse and way more ridiculous and like harmful, generally speaking, she's a little bit bulletproof when it comes to being a nasty personality, since that's her whole fucking thing.
Yeah, I really don't see this affecting her legacy in any way, to be honest. I feel like most people either didn't know this happened or 2, just saw Nicki's fighting with SZA and were like, what else is going on?
Yeah. let me switch over to the funnies. Yeah, let me get through this newspaper.
But the interaction, I just want to read this, the text between her and Punch for the future. July 28th, 2020, Nicki sent this message, which was my birthday.
Oh, but she was clearly celebrating.
My COVID birthday. A lot of people got sick that day.
Okay. Gross. Okay.
Hey, it's Nicki. Punch responds, Minaj?
No, Giovanni, the poet. Nick Blonsky.
But imagine just texting someone, hey, it's Nicki. Then she wrote, yeah, how are you? I'm good, money. What's poppin'?
That's how I text you.
Congrats are in order.
Yeah.
What's
I'm
good,
good, money?
And Nicki says, thank you. Is SZA recording right now? Got this hook I think she would be dope on.
Okay, so proof is in the pudding. She's a fan.
Yeah. And then Punch responds, yeah, she heavy into her album. Send it. And then Nicki says, okay, I'll just send the hook first. If she fuck with it, I'll send the files to an email. Give me a sec. And then he said, bet.
And that's that. Well,
yes.
Nice try, Nicki.
Yeah. Now, in response to that, everyone was making fun of the fact that she was just like, hey, it's Nicki Minaj. So she also tweeted, going back to this thing about SZA's freckles, which is LOL to me, but Nicki tweeted out, hey, it's Nicki Minaj. No, the Knickerbockers. We'd like to know if you play basketball if your freckles wipe off when you sweat. Otherwise, we'd like to offer you a once-in-a-lifetime chance to play for the New York Knicks. She's so funny. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It is unfortunate. I always say, I think the thing that actually creates standing, generally speaking, more than anything, is being hilarious. You know, I think that's what the Madonna fans like cling to most. That's what like Mariah fans cling to most. You know what I mean? And these are like the strongest stan armies. And that's why I think Lady Gaga needs to be funnier again.
Yeah. Listen, she is giving us songs from Art Pop for the tour. So that's great. She put in some new songs.
We'll have a laugh. So that is funny. Yeah. Yes, you're right.
Okay, you know what? Do not come for applause and aura.
No, you know that applause and do what you want are my favorites. Yes.
Yeah, she also added Summer Boy, so that's great.
Yes,
but
love that song.
Speaking of the 2 people that you did bring up, Mariah's new album is coming out soon.
Can't wait. It's called Here for It All.
Yeah. Here for It All. And I'm liking Type Dangerous still, even though I hate the remixes. The remixes came out.
The original version is the best version.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the remixes is just, she didn't re-record the vocals. So it's that thing where the beats aren't really fun. It's sort of like, you want a classic Mariah remix where she redoes the vocals, and so then like you can do a whole different beat,
right,
etc. But she shared like a snippet of another song too, like where she's singing about like sugar, and It sounds good. I think it's going to be sort of like a mix of Memoirs of an Imperfect Angel / Caution.
Okay, great. Yeah, Caution, I like the music. I didn't really like vocally what she did on it, but yeah.
There's no Jermaine Dupri production on this album.
Weird. I don't even know Mariah anymore.
She's flying free,
if you will.
But she's booed up with Anderson .Paak now. So I feel like this is one of those moments where a pop diva or even just like, you know, a female artist you love, like it happens with the rock girls too. They get in a relationship and then the person they're in the relationship with ends up producing their whole album. I love that era of like female singer. It's always like, yeah, I'll let you do some work for me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, enjoy my legacy. Sure. We should get on with this episode though, since this is Ira's penultimate episode. And I don't know if you know this, we're both Leos, and he actually believes in the zodiac. I, of course, you know, am an adult. But we are going to get into the greatest Leo energy films, which I think there are definitive answers to this. So I think like either you get the right answer or you don't. We'll talk about that. And guess what else we're talking about? Stephen Colbert being canceled out of nowhere for quote unquote mysterious reasons. And then Trump, who is, you know, allegedly the reason it ended up being canceled, we'll talk about that, said he's coming for Kimmel next. I actually work for that talk show host. I don't know if you've ever had a sitting president threaten your job before. It's new to me. We'll talk about that.
Also, as you all know, next week is my last episode. And, you know, Louis and I are the ones behind the mic, but all of you have been listening at home, and you're just as much a part of this show as we are. So next week, we're all going to take a walk down the Keep It Hall of Fame and revisit our most memorable moments and takes and interviews over the years. And listen, I don't remember any of the shit I say on this podcast. So if you have a favorite Keep It moment, please share it with us in the YouTube comments, Spotify comments, or in the comment section of this episode's Instagram posts at the handle @KeepItShow. And if you have a question for an AMA segment, send those in as well. Louis and I will answer all of the questions that you send in. Well, maybe not all of them, but we're going to answer a lot of them.
And by the way, you can be a little snarky too. We can handle it.
Honestly, there was someone looking for love in the comments the other week, and it was kind of heartwarming.
Oh, I have the distinct feeling they didn't find it, but okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's the place to find love, baby.
No,
not the comment section for this podcast.
No. Love rarely wins here. In fact, it's not even competing. It didn't even qualify.
Wow. Here lies love.
Yeah.
All right, we will be right back with more Keep It. Keep It is brought to you by Z-Biotics. Z-Biotics that I'm talking about are Z-Biotics. See what I did there?
You Zsa Zsa Gabor? Okay.
This is the season of sipping. And a surefire way to wake up feeling fresh after drinks with friends is pre-alcohol. Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic Drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's a buildup of this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for rough days after drinking. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. So just remember to make pre-alcohol your first drink of the night, drink responsibly, and you'll feel your best tomorrow.
Okay, I'm all ears. Please tell me when Z-Biotics saved your soul.
Listen, I mean, I don't even drink that much anymore, but I love a summer cocktail during the day. You know, like if someone brings out the champagne, you got to drink it.
I understand that instinct because we're all celebrating. I just want to join in. You don't want to not fit in.
Yeah. And, you know, they don't have apple juice at the ready everywhere. If they had some Martinellis,
ooh,
then it'd be a different story.
That's what airplanes are good for. Why do they always have apple juice?
But in lieu of apple juice, I'm drinking the champagne, which means I do not want a hangover the next day because champagne also gives you the worst hangovers, to be honest. That's why I like Z-Biotics. You just pop one of those babies and you feel great the next day. I was cleaning out my fridge, actually, and I found 2 cases hidden in the back.
What? You're like the Z-Bionic woman. Summer is here, which means more opportunities to celebrate the warm weather. Before that backyard barbecue brew, a glass of Pinot, watching the sunset at the beach, or a cocktail by the campfire, don't forget your ZBiotics pre-alcohol. Drink one before drinking and wake up feeling great and ready to take on the next day and all that summer has to offer.
Go to zbiotics.com/keepit to learn more and get 15% off your first order when you use Keep It at checkout. ZBiotics is backed with 100% money-back guarantee. So if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money. No questions asked. Remember to head to zbiotics.com/keepit and use the code KEEPIT at checkout for 15% off.
Keep It is brought to you by Coded Justice, a thriller by Stacey Abrams. Avery Keene is back for justice in a prescient new thriller in the New York Times #1 best-selling series from Stacey Abrams. Coded Justice follows Avery down a dark rabbit hole into the breathtaking and dangerously evolving world of AI in the medical industry. In Coded Justice, Stacey Abrams' storytelling prowess is on full display. A deft combination of riveting twists and vibrant characters set against the fascinating landscape of the capabilities of artificial intelligence and the moral boundaries that govern it. Coded Justice is Abrams' most entertaining novel to date. Available now wherever books and audiobooks are sold. Click the link in the description to learn more.
Last week, Stephen Colbert announced that The Late Show on CBS will be canceled after its next season, ending May 2026. The news shocked the industry, but it does come at a time when late night isn't packing the same punch it used to, at least audience-wise. Louis, you work on a late night show. One, how did your team react to this, and what do you think it means for late night in general?
Well, I mean, it is shocking. I mean, like, even if you consider late night, you know, sort of an old hat format, there aren't that many shows anymore. It's like saying game shows aren't as famous as they used to be. Okay, but there's still room for like 5 of them, 6 of them, or whatever, you know? So for the preeminent late night talk show host, basically, Stephen Colbert, to be canceled feels bizarre. And of course, it's only days after he criticized the potential CBS Skydance Paramount-y merger, which people are suggesting that his show was canceled as a concession to Trump, who then gloated that the show was canceled and then said Jimmy Kimmel was next. So there's some validity there. You know, speaking for what I do for my job, which is just writing jokes every day, you know, it's like clownery. I sit at the computer and like I get the topics and I'm like, how do we make fun of this? What can we say that's like valuable and not repeating ourselves, even though we're talking about the same things again and again, usually Trump. But after a while, like you watch the TV show, and even though it's just a guy standing up there making jokes, it occurred to me after a while, this is definitely the most outspoken show on ABC. You know what I mean? And this is a Disney-run TV show talking about the president of the United States who has the most bruisable ego possible. So it's something chemically is occurring every time we make fun of this person. There's like some danger that he will react, you know, fascistically, an adverb that doesn't exist, but I'm throwing it out there. So to see Stephen Colbert like fundamentally just wiped off late night is a crazy feeling. I mean, like, I guess you could justify it as a financial decision because these shows are so expensive to produce. Huge staffs, you know, like getting guests, they're in the theater in New York. There's plenty of variables that make these shows really expensive. But at the same time, I think Stephen Colbert is this weird combination for viewers of antagonistic to bad guys like Trump and also very cozy, which I think makes him sort of his own brand in late night and something that hasn't really existed before. That's not like Johnny Carson or David Letterman or Conan O'Brien. You know, it's like he's his own thing in that way. And my guess is he will end up doing a version of this show for a streamer or something. Is that what you'd think?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I do want to take umbrage, you know, with what you said about being the most vocal on ABC. You know, that's just because we got rid of Roseanne.
Oh,
okay.
A truth teller. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like we started getting rid of the truth. They came for Roseanne.
That's right.
And you said nothing.
And you know what she did? She said nothing and started rapping. So.
No, yeah, listen, it did obviously come as a shock. And it was also shocking to me that, yes, I know how vocal Jimmy is against Trump all the time, you know? And I know that Colbert also is too, to a sense, but I sort of really had no idea that he was digging into CBS the way he was, which is maybe part of the problem. Like, I wasn't really aware what was happening in the Colbert ecosystem. I feel like I'm seeing clips more now, And now he's just sort of like doesn't give a fuck because what's weird is when people were giving eulogies for this show too, a lot of them were speaking as if the show was like that was the last episode of the show to ever air.
Yeah, we have 10 more months of the show.
Yeah, we're going to May of 2026. So there's a lot he can say still, Donald Trump. So good luck. But I don't know, Colbert has just always been such a presence in late night, from, you know, the Colbert Report to this. And I'm sure there is something that he's going to be doing in the future that will be exciting. But there's still just something about late night, you know, like he could go and do a podcast and be extremely successful. There was just a report today about Joe Budden, you know, the fact that he makes fucking $20 million a year,
right,
you know, off podcasting. It is, it can be a very lucrative job for some people. I don't know anything about that, but it's obvious that he could go into something like that. It's obvious also that that is part of the problem with late night too. I mean, there's the ad money isn't there anymore.
Right, yeah.
Viewers have been lost. Most people watch the show in clips, etc., and it's hard to monetize a show like that in clips. And monetization from just like YouTube or socials or whatever. I mean, you can run a podcast, but you can't run the Late Show with all of its staff, etc. Like this is an actual television show. You can't run actual television shows with money you make from YouTube views, you know? But this just makes me think now that like, what are we just going to be watching like Hot Ones and Chicken Shop Date in late night now? It's just like
I
they're
know
going to
the
take these
gravitas
shows.
is not there. Yeah, right.
No, every podcast now is essentially being filmed. It reminds me of when I was in the media, in the BuzzFeed era, into the MTV News era. Which, by the way, I've also been canceled by Viacom before.
Oh, sure.
When they axed all of MTV News a year into the Trump presidency. They were like, goodbye. Trump, basically like, Trump doesn't want that shit. So they canceled us. And we were like the enemy of David Duke. I don't know if people remember this, but during the election, when we were reporting on Trump, like David Duke and the KKK got mad at us. And David Duke was constantly tweeting at Viacom that we were going to be destroyed. And then we were. But I don't know. It's not going to hit the same. You've got so many easy shows where every podcast is recorded now. Like I said, in that pivot to video thing again. But are we going to fucking watch shows where now they're just putting that on TV? Like, I think that sucks.
Yeah. Also, it's like, I mean, Jeopardy put out a press release not long ago because they're going to start uploading episodes of the show to streaming every day for people to watch, even though it comes up, I think, a day later or something. They said they lost double-digit percentages of viewers that are supposed to be watching the syndicated version that comes on cable to bootlegged uploads of the show. And it's like, well, even Jeopardy, it's like these shows that just belong on television can't just belong there anymore, and in that way, like everybody has to make a big change. Like I keep wondering if syndication will, if daytime talk shows will be able to function the way they do in the future. Because honestly, it's like, who is watching Kelly Ripa? I mean, honestly, I say this as somebody, she's great at her job, perfect at her job, couldn't be better at her job. And yet also it's like designed to have for people to have on in the background kind of while they just do their work. It's like it's for a specific age group that's like aging out.
Yeah. Well, that's also something that should be talked about when you speak of the end of Colbert and sort of what the future is for late night, right? Because what people are watching on social media, what people are, like the podcast people are listening to / watching are very different from what we're getting in late night. And while it was lovely to see the Colbert moment where I think you just saw the photo where all of the late night people, all the late night hosts showed up to support him.
Yes.
It was Seth, it was Jimmy, it was Andy Cohen was there, Anderson Cooper was there. Only Jimmy wasn't there because, he's in LA shooting his show. But I don't know. It was cool in the solidarity way, but then looking at it, you were like, here's just like a row of 8 white men. You have to also fault late night for not progressing and moving forward. You know, like who's to know where late night could be or if more people were watching if it had ever bothered to diversify. I mean, the 90s had so much more diversity in talk show hosts, even daytime talking show hosts, that we do now. We used to have fucking Arsenio and Montel and RuPaul hosting
and I loved that show.
shows, you know?
Yes.
And honestly, bring back RuPaul's show or, you know, like mint a new RuPaul, you know? It's just, it's crazy to me that networks and things see what is successful in different forms of media, and I guess the response will just be, let's just throw that on a TV or whatever, instead of looking at why those things are successful.
No, I think all the time about like why people vest so much authority, or historically have, into like white guys telling jokes. You know, and why their perspective tends to be so centralized, just in comedy in general. But I feel like, and I've talked about this long on the podcast, like I just can't picture most men saying that their favorite funny person is a woman, or is a black woman, or is it's like there's something about the way guys gather for humor. They want to be around somebody who feels like, one, their friend who's in the group they're with at the comedy club, or the guy they all want to be. You know, it's like that's a version of admiration and a version of aspiration that they see in funny people. Because I think there's something about being funny that lends a comic, generally speaking, namely someone like Jimmy Kimmel or Stephen Colbert, who's like roasting someone like Trump. Part of the appeal is they have a sense of invulnerability. And I feel like if you're respecting somebody for being invulnerable, that makes you vulnerable. And I feel like men don't like giving that power to a woman.
Right. And gay men don't like giving that power to other gay men, which is largely why gay men.
You got that right, bitch. Give it to me. I want
it. Which is why gay men who are successful in this field, et cetera, you tend to rely on women who want to be their best friend.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Precisely. No, I think of me growing up, all the comics I loved were all women. If I won an Academy Award today, I would thank Paula Poundstone and Margaret Cho and Wendy Liebman and all this, Rita Rudner, Wanda Sykes, etc.
And there is something comforting about it, you know? I mean, I will say the one thing that is beautiful about these late night shows is that they were still such an incubation for talent in a way that they introduce people to the world, you know? Like, I think Meg Stalter's been fucking great on Colbert this week, you know?
Yeah. No, I love anybody who treats a late night appearance like a stunt. Because let's like do something with this like weird old stodgy format. Like, I love just a straightforward conversation, but if you can do something crazy with it, that's great. And proves that there's like fun and opportunity in this format.
Yeah, Cola Scola, whenever they're on, like, it's fun. And those are like real comedians being funny. And it also just reminds you, like, those people are fascinating. And why isn't one of them hosting a late night show, you know? No, it feels weird, this current space that we're in, but I'm also like a soap opera fan.
Yeah.
And I remember the period when all those shows were being canceled, you know, and some of them are still alive. And now CBS has just launched its own new show, Beyond the Gates, again, years later, the first one since Passions, and it's doing well. And everything that dies lives again.
I
have
to say, I concur in that way. It does feel like maybe there'll be like a retraction period where there's fewer of these shows, but then a few will come back, because I think there is a throwback element to these that people will crave. You know, just like movie genres come back or whatever. We every once in a while we have the rom-com that actually takes off that we all watch. And for some reason, I'm not quoting anyone but you, but I saw that movie. But I also just want to say, maybe an upshot of this whole situation is that whatever Stephen Colbert does next, we get a little bit of the kookier Stephen Colbert. And I'm not even just talking about the Colbert Report Stephen Colbert, which was, of course, very funny and, you know, sort of a hilarious theatrical performance. I miss him on Strangers with Candy so much. Just the craziest show. Speaking of great talk show guest, Amy Sedaris. But just there's something about knowing that everybody on that show is capable of being that crazy and deadpan and so wrong and inappropriate, and like the kind of thing where if your parents walked in on you watching that show, they'd be like, this is television right now, like what the fuck? And yet I'm laughing. It was such an incredible type of comedy. And so I hope he gets back into that I'll call it UCB-ish strangeness that he can achieve.
Yeah. Maybe on our YouTube page also they'll throw up an image of the time I was on the Colbert Show.
Oh yes.
In 2018. He was just such I mean, when you talk about that calming sense that, you know, the late night hosts have, I mean, that was such an out of body experience, and doing that for the first time and talking to him made me feel the most comfortable.
Yeah, there's something very like somebody holding a whiskey and like welcoming you into their study kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm. And you know, talk show hosts always do. They always do sort of a pre-interview, you know, a thing where the producer gets what you're going to talk about, and then you meet with the host, like they stop into your dressing room, etc., and chat with you, and it's just sort of like the vibe that he's able to pick up on his guest immediately, and then sort of use that during the interview, where it's like he can sort of guide you to saying something funny or saying like something interesting or just shifting in the conversation. And so I don't know, that was one of my favorite moments that I've had in my life.
Yeah, he's the only one of those guys I haven't met, I don't think, now that you mention it.
Yeah, and also he's, aside from the Strangers with KID, he is also a great performer.
Yeah.
Like stage performer too. And he can sing. So let's get him back on Broadway.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe he'll be hosting more award shows and stuff now, which I feel like is a good venue for him too.
Yeah. But until then, Trump wouldn't want to be in her shoes right now.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's just sort of like, it's giving, it's not exactly Streisand effect, but it is this thing where, okay, now you're taunting Colbert. The show's already going off the air. It's like, now it's giving Kill Bill, which we're going to talk about in another segment of this episode. But, you know, it's the Kill Bill thing, of, you know, like, revenge is a forest. I always think about that quote from that movie. It's sort of like, that's why people always say revenge is a dish best served cold, you know? It's like, someone's going to get you when they need to get you, you know? And it's also like, when you cut off sort of like his livelihood, you end the show, you end this job for all these people who are working for him. There's nothing left to lose. He's going to come at you with everything he has now, Trump.
Yeah, right.
Like, so good luck. And also now you've pissed off every other late night host too, especially at the time where you do not want people talking about these fucking Epstein files. Okay?
Which it still feels like maybe we'll get those any other day now. Who knows? So it's like, it's a very fraught time.
Meanwhile, Pam Bondi's like, you want the tea on MLK?
Yes, more secrets about MLK. So funny that those files are out now.
Here's what he was really doing in that hotel room. And what channels he was watching.
I just want to say Lorraine Motel could be the name of a drag queen. It could be, anyway.
Actually, that could.
Yeah.
It'd be one of Rue's favorite drag queens, by the way. She'd be like, I used to see Lorraine Motel in Vegas.
She and Michelle don't speak anymore, but yeah, right.
It's also giving, speaking of the Nicki and SZA fight from earlier, right? Just being like, MLK, Bernice, don't make me say what I want to say about your daddy. You know I got a lot of tea.
Pam Bondi stepping forward with tea. I'm sickened.
Go back to your beach, Pam.
Yeah, right. Bondi. Yeah, right. In Australia, please. The furthest continent. Yes.
Yeah. I do want to say for the listeners, when Crooked throws up the photo of me on the Colbert Show, that was like the first year of Keep It. So just imagine I look like I do now.
Okay. Okay. I'll do it.
It's very triggering. Seeing photos of yourself from 2018. Anyway.
We will be right back after this with our favorite segment of the episode. It'll be Keep It. Keep It is brought to you by Armor Colostrum. In a world that's constantly changing, your health shouldn't be up for debate. From the latest wellness trends to the chaos of modern culture, we're always questioning what's real and what's just noise. But one thing is certain. Your body wasn't designed for the nonstop stress, processed foods, and environmental toxins of today's world. Armor colostrum is nature's original superfood, packed with over 400 bioactive nutrients that fortify gut health, strengthen immunity, revitalize hair growth, and fuel performance at the cellular level. Because no matter where you stand on the latest hot topic, feeling your best is never up for discussion. Armor colostrum supports your body's health from head to toe. It helps combat hair loss, promotes radiant skin, nurtures your gut microbiome, boosts lean muscle building, and so much more. We've worked out a special offer for our audience. Receive 15% off your first order. Go to tryarmra.com/keepit or enter keepit to get 15% off your first order. That's tryarmra.com/keepit.
Keep It is brought to you by Soul. And I'm not talking about the train.
Oh, Don Cornelius, we speak your name. Sometimes you just need a little something in the middle of the afternoon to help you get through the rest of your inbox, or something at the end of the day to make your evening more enjoyable. That's where today's sponsor, Soul, can help. Soul is a wellness brand that believes feeling good should be fun and easy. Soul specializes in delicious hemp-derived THC and CBD products designed to boost your mood and help you unwind. Their best-selling out-of-office gummies were designed to provide a mild, relaxing buzz, boost your mood, and enhance creativity and relaxation.
Listen, I hate cleaning out my email, okay? So sometimes during the day when I got to do that, I like popping a Soul, baby.
Oh, yeah? Do you put on a little maid outfit and get a little feather duster for when you clean out your inbox? That sounds really taxing. And call yourself a fun, kicky name like Spritzy.
What French farce do you think I'm living in?
I feel like you would like to live in one, so stop pretending I made that up.
Actually, I would. Who's at the door?
The out-of-office gummies come in 4 different strengths so you can find the perfect dose for your vibe. Choose from a gentle microdose, perfect buzz, a noticeable high, or a fully lit experience. Oh. With wellness at the forefront, you can feel good about what you're putting in your body. All of Soul's products are made from organically farmed, USA-grown hemp and are vegan, gluten-free, and low in sugar. Plus, Soul has so many other amazing wellness products with or without THC, including a variety of gummies and capsules that can improve sleep, stress, pain, focus, bloating, and more. So bring on the good vibes and treat yourself to Soul today. Go to getsoul.com and use the code KEEPIT. That's getsoul.com, promo code KEEPIT for 30% off.
And we're back for our favorite segment of the episode. Louis, what's your Keep It?
My Keep It, unfortunately, goes to a show I continue to watch, RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars, but not because, and I'm spoiling it right now, so if you're intending on watching the finale, cut it off right now. Ginger Minj was crowned the winner this season, which I have no problem with theoretically, because I think she's talented and I like the old school kind of brassy broad vibes she brings. And I feel
her
like
Rose's Turn interpolation was very fun.
Yes.
Like I'd love to see her follow in Jinx's footsteps on Broadway.
Yes, precisely. And I just like the general kind of like there's no way to put it, old school vibe she brings. I find that there's a level of hatred for Ginger online that feels way too outsized. I'm okay with she's just not my thing, or this queen's more talented, or whatever you want to say, but like it just feels a little, I don't know, nasty, in that kind of old school Anne Hathaway is having too much fun out there sort of rancor that is driven. But here's the thing. My Keep It is for the fact that she won this, because if you're going to have a lip sync tournament decide the final episode, then the girl who wins better actually win the lip syncs. I did not think she won any of the 3 lip syncs that got her the crown.
Yeah, it was a little shady boots.
Yeah. It felt, and also it's like, I just don't like when people say, oh, Rue wants this person to win, so they're going to make it happen. It's like, I think Rue goes with whatever makes the most sense, generally speaking. Like, I don't think it's conspiratorial most of the time. Until now, where I'm watching these lip syncs where stylistically, she brought no interesting new gimmicks. She brought no kind of moves we hadn't seen before. It was a lot of the cross eyes we'd seen her do 10,000 times, or when the lyrics reference somebody else, she points to the other person like that they're that person in the lyrics. Just we had seen these tricks before. And so
George just ate her up.
Yeah, I agree. But also George is just built for a lip sync, right? Like that's like exactly the showmanship she brings.
And I thought that Georgia stepped out of the box and was very funny too. I mean, that solo performance of Muggy.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Very funny.
Yeah. These turkeys make me want to Vogue too.
Also, Ginger picked the song "Raise Your Glass" by Pink to lip sync to. I think that might be the world's worst music. It's the worst song from
Dirty Little Freaks.
Yeah, just Pink at her most. The angst she brings, and this is my favorite reference, is Burger King Kids Club. The kids standing together in their baggy clothes like this with some fries over here.
Oh my God. I miss the Burger King Kids Club.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Kid
Burger
Vid,
King just
Wheels, which was the name of the person
Boomer?
in the wheelchair. Yes. Boomer.
Boomer?
Oh, no, wait, Boomer, was that the tall black kid?
No, the lesbian.
Oh,
with
okay.
the
Yes.
cross stick.
Yes. Yeah.
Field hockey, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
They really had
Wow.
everybody up at Burger King. My God.
This was early DEI. Jaws, Lingo, who you can't tell me isn't the heart from Captain Planet Kid.
I want to say that the entire Burger King Kids Club, if you're looking at the picture I'm thinking you're looking up, they actually all look like lesbians.
Yeah, even Wheels looks dykey.
Yeah, right.
Jaws is giving stud.
Yeah.
Come on. They're all lesbians.
They all are lesbians. Yeah.
Ginger Minch looks a little like IQ.
Yeah. This should be a drag race challenge.
You know what Burger King has, again, by the way? They brought the French toast sticks back.
Oh, they know where their French toast sticks are buttered. Yes.
Baby, it gets your jush, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't had the French toast sticks in a minute, get them. I got them after I recovered from my 2-week sickness. I was like, oh, I can eat food again?
Oh, that's exciting. All right, literally I drive past one every day on my way to work, so that might just happen for me. Ira, what is your keep it?
Eat at Burger King instead of In-N-Out, by the way, because that's not going to be my official keep it, but that CEO of In-N-Out, she's leaving California for Tennessee, obviously for some tax breaks and shit or whatever. She's moving her family out of California. It's obvious she just doesn't want to be around the diversity of California. You know? So stop going to In-N-Out Burger.
It is just weird when they have biblical quotes on things you're eating out of. Why? Stop it.
Put Viola Davis quotes on my food, okay?
Why
That's
is there
what
a
I
dead man's
want.
penis on your phone?
Put Angela Bassett's quote about her diet on
Oh,
my
yeah.
food, okay?
What's the bread she
So,
eats?
Ezekiel bread. Okay. So my keep it this week goes to this new Netflix reality show that I've been watching called Building the Band.
Oh, people are obsessed with this, I think.
I am actually obsessed with it. It's exciting because I think we've long talked on the show about how to get that magic back that American Idol had, where you sort of really cared about the contestants and it felt like you were watching something new and exciting and you were seeing them discover their voices in the music industry and etc. I think this show actually does a really good job of capturing that. So the concept is it's like a Making the Band show meets Love is Blind.
Okay.
All of the contestants are in these like boxes, like Love is Blind or like the circle, right? They're in these cubicles and they each go up one by one to perform a song. The other people listening then all of the voice like can tap if they like that person's voice.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to get over 3 likes to be able to stay in the competition.
Got it.
And then what happens is if you've liked someone, you've created a connection with them where you can then chat with them through your cubicles. Still can't see each other yet.
Got it.
And you have to chat and just like figure out if you vibe or whatever. And then you essentially form a band. Bands have to be they have to be at least 3 people, no more than 6. And only 6 bands can form. And then the bands they all select each other. And, once a band is formed, you get a message that says, this band is formed. And you see the photos of them and you're like, fuck, I missed out, or whatever. And then they go into the phase where they sing for the judges. And then they just sang in front of a mini showcase in front of an audience. And now Wednesday's episodes are showing like the finale where they're performing in front of like a big audience. It's just fun seeing some of these kids like bond with one another, create the bands themselves, etc. You feel a little bit more invested, and because you couldn't see people's faces or whatever, there's some very weird, just sort of like looking bands. There's this one band called Season 4, which is just these 4 people who could not be completely different from each other. You know, there's this white girl who's bigger. There's this guy Cameron who is sort of like he's black. He's sort of like a twink, has like a beautiful voice. But when he was singing, like a lot of the girls thought it was a woman singing.
Oh,
so
wow.
they hit him. They were like, "Oh, sorry, I was looking for a girl for my girl group I want to form." You know, you get to hear people talk about what kind of groups they want to form. Someone's like, "I want to find like a Michelle and Kelly because I'm the Beyonce," or, you know, like it's just really interesting seeing these people interact with each other.
Is this the show where also like Nicole Scherzinger is a guest judge?
Yes,
and
so also is Liam Payne.
Yes, yeah. So I'm like, they shot this a while ago.
Yes, Liam Payne, Kelly Rowland, and AJ McLean is the host. What I have to say is, keep it to these 2 terrorists on the show. One is Allison, who is giving very much Mean Girl vibes, and I love it for the show. But she was sort of the person who was between 2 groups. Like a lot of people wanted her, and she's just sort of like, I'm gonna have my pick, you know. But wait till the last minute for the drama. There's also this girl Nori who sort of really can't sing. She's sort of speak singing, very nasally, but she seems sweet throughout the competition. The people I really need to say keep it to is this group called Midnight Till Morning, which is this group of 4 white guys who keep insisting that they are so different, and they hate this other boy group, which is called Solidified, which is these 2 white guys with curly blonde hair and then these 2 black guys. They sound great. They're actually Solidified sounds great. They're giving you like old school, like Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees, like vocals down. And their like makeup of the band is just like really interesting to watch. I've really been enjoying them, and the judges love them. But Midnight Till Morning is sort of pressed about this because they're like, clearly like, we don't want to be like a dancing boy band. They think of themselves as more like One Direction, or like they all play guitar, so they think they're very much
singer-songwriters, artisans.
Yeah, they're singer-songwriters, artisans, right? They're like, we're not really doing movement or whatever, but they're just so very like high on their own supply of who they are as a band. Yeah, being like, we're so different. It's like, you all look the same.
Okay,
they're all Benson Boones.
Yeah,
they're all Benson Boones, basically. And there's also the terrorist girl, Allison, has a little maybe flirtation with one of the tattooed guys from that Midnight Till Morning group. And there's a little drama where he's like more interested in hanging out with this woman and finding the love of his life than being in his band. So unfortunately, like, the show's good. And my last thing I'll say about Liam Payne is it actually made me really sad watching it, because he and I talked about this when he passed, just about how he was writing and producing a lot of their songs, and a lot of people didn't really know how talented Liam Payne was as a producer and songwriter. He gives the best advice on this show, and he's so locked in with the groups, and it's just sad knowing that this isn't going to become a moment for him to, you know, go into like the next phase of his career.
Yeah, because among the One Direction people, he never really became a breakout personality in any way either. So the fact that this feels like it could have been that kind of moment for him is like shocking. Like, who knew that was even possible?
Yeah, Kelly's so good on the show. Obviously, Kelly Rowland is that, like, she's that bitch. She's Kelly Rowland. But Liam Payne was a big shocker just how great he is. And Nicole Scherzinger, I love her. I'm so excited for this next era. Kooky!
Excuse me.
Did you see her Hot Ones?
Excuse me. That Hot Ones interview where she says, "That's where you want them, Sean. You want their heart, their stomach, their balls, their vagina." She is kookaroo.
My favorite thing that any actor does is when they play a certain role and then basically just shift into I am that person for the rest of my life.
Oh,
like
yeah.
she is Norma Desmond now.
No, it's like when Kate Blanchett did Streetcar Named Desire. It's like for about 6 years she was Blanche Dubois. So yeah.
Yes. Austin Butler even.
Yes,
like he still
Austin
has a bit of that Elvis to him, that gravitas.
Yes,
so,
right, that snarl.
when I look up how old Nicole Scherzinger is, I'm not going to say a lady's age, but she was much older than I expected, which makes sense because she was in the Pussycat Dolls when we were
20 years
younger.
ago.
But I don't know. I'm just so excited for this next phase of her career. Like she's a fucking Tony winner now.
Yeah, right. No, like the world is her oyster, and I actually don't know what she's going to do. Like if she's gonna foist another solo album on us or whatever. Which, by the way, could be good. Don't hold your breath. Great song.
Yeah. The funniest part of the show, by the way, though, is her giving advice to the groups about working in like a girl group and being like, the members of my group made me better. You're forming like a sisterhood. I'm like, girl, we were there. You hated them bitches.
And also, they still hate you.
Okay.
Carmen is in the comments on Audra McDonald's Gypsy being like, there's my queen who should have won the Tony.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
The woman is so funny. Okay. Anyway, that's our show.
Star.
Yes.
Yes. Next week is just me and Louis, baby. And your questions.
Yes, definitely hit it. Whatever format. You can just text or tweet at us, whatever, too. I'll forward them along, etc. But anyway, it's Ira's last show, and I am not emotionally prepared, so we'll see how it goes. And we will see you then.
Remember to share your favorite Keep It moments. That includes the Keep It segment or just moments from the show involving us. You can comment on Spotify in our episode comments. You can comment at Keep It Show on the Instagram page. Also in our YouTube comments. Duh. So go to YouTube, comment there your favorite Keep It moments, and ask us any question. We're just going to have a really fun episode next week.
We will see you then.